It's Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. I am back again. This is the beginning, well, it's the second video, but it's the beginning of putting the celebration journal together. So, we have the envelopes, 3. Now you can put more in if you want. That's completely up to you. I use 3 because I find it sufficient for the journal. Okay. The envelopes that I'm using are 5 3/4 inches this way, 8 3/4 inches this way. You can use whatever size you want. You can make little bitty ones, bigger ones, smallerish ones. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use. Just measure your mats to fit your envelopes. What I mean by that is that your mat should sit on there just so. You take these out so you can see that it sits just so. Because this will be the front of the journal. And you've got your edges, and you want them to be just as even as you can. If you don't get it even just right, goes a little ski-wampus or whatever, it doesn't matter. That's what they make lace for. Okay, so excuse me. First thing we're gonna do is put these together to make our base. All right. So let me find my one I wrote on, because that's going to be my last one. Of course, it's the one I turned upside down. Okay, so this is going to be our base. All right, our back. Or our front, whichever one it turns out to be. Here we go. We're going to take, and like I said, I use the art glitter glue. The thing I will warn you about with art glitter glue is that it grabs really fast, so you have to be a little bit careful. When you put it on there, don't be playing around with it. It's going to be stuck before you take 2 breaths. Okay, so I put the glue. Now you can do this any which way you want. I'm not telling you what to do. But I put the glue around here where you would normally moisten this. Some people lick it. Whatever you do with your envelopes, I'm not going to tell you what to do with that either. So you put glue all around there. Then you fold it back, hold it in the middle there, you know. And you see where this is open? See if I can get this in shot. See where that's open? You're taking the open part and you line up the bottom edges, and then you just put them together, making sure that they're together. And you press that down. Hopefully it's together as good as you can get it. If it's a little skewy, if you've got a second, but not too many. Then you press this down really good. Excuse me. My asthma's being all kinds of interesting today, so I'm sorry about that. For you and for me. Okay. Get that out of my way. Do the same process over. Put the glue all around the place where you would moisten it to stick it together. Doesn't have to be the neatest thing, just close to the edges and pretty well covered, because you want it to really stay when you put it where you want it. Hope I'm not getting too far out of shot for you. Okay, once again, pinch it in the middle. Get your envelopes you've already put together, line them up on the bottom, and just simply fold that in. Now if you get a little off, you've got a second, not too many, but a second. Just stack them together and press. Once you get that pressed, flip it over, get out my way, flip it over and press that down. Okay, now what you do with what you've got left is you take your scoreboard bone folder and you make yourself a little bit of an extra crease. Okay, my scoreboard won't fit where I'm working, so you have that little bit of extra crease for your fold over. You want it to fold in both places, so you just kind of give that a little bit of a fold. Now you've got an edge, a little bit of an edge. You don't want a lot. I just used 1/8 of an inch. Now if you're putting 4, 5, 6, ever how many envelopes together, you want to give it a little bit more, but I just used 3, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on here on the area where you would moisten it, in whatever way you would moisten that. So you want to get as close to the edge as you can. This is going to be covered, so you don't have to get anxiety over it. You just want it to be stuck down real good. Okay. And then you got to give your edge some room. So don't just pull it as hard as you can. Give your edge some room. And then press that down. Excuse me again. Okay. Now that we've got that together, I use this little thing called a brayer because I don't always get everything pressed the way it should, and I like it to stick good, so I go back over things. And some people use a bone folder for this. Use whatever you want. A brayer works really good for me. Okay, now that we've got that together, and this turned out to be our front, so there you go. What we're going to do next is get our mats ready. Now, this is a part where you have to decide not just what's going to go on the front and the back and the inside pages, but you have to decide what you're going to do with your ribbon, what kind of closure you're going to make. Mine I put underneath the mats. And you also have to decide what you're going to do with your cotton. That you need to put this on there to give you some extra strength on your spine. So you would put this on, but are you going to put it on now and cover it because it's going to be glued down, or do you want to wait and put it on after you put your mats? So that's your choice to make now. Got to think about that. I guess that's homework if you're crafting along. So here we go. We've got our 3 main pages. This page we will take the edge off of. Just a tiny, tiny sliver off this edge. That will open this up as a big pocket in the center. And that's where you put in your fun stuff. Big journaling cards. Even an extra little notebook. Or if you're doing a baby journal, you put that big folder in there that holds all that baby stuff. Okay, so the next part of what we're going to do, that's not homework, is we're going to get one of the mats ready. I've already rounded my corners. You can round or you can keep them sharp and pointy, whichever way you want them. They're your corners. You round or don't round. It's up to you. Okay, so with this, you want to put whatever edging you're going to put. Some people don't ink, and that's okay. Some people use this color, that color, the other color. I like a little bit of a vintage look, but not a lot. I'm very light on the inking, and so this is probably the only thing you're going to see me ink, because most people know how to ink. I just wanted you to know that that's what I do with the edges. Just very light, so you knock off the white, and you have that there. Okay, so all my mats will be done the same way, inked, and then what we do, or what I do, on the back side, I use the double stick tape. Like I said before, some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are scared to death of it, but it is what it is. So I put it fairly close to the edge. You don't want to go over the edge, because then you're just sticking yourself to your work surface. And you just tear it off, like so. Yep, I'm still in shot. Here we go. Okay. Now, pretty simple. It's easier to work on my regular workspace with this, but we'll do what we do. Okay. Now, they make different sizes of this tape, which is really handy, because you never know what size something you're working with, and sometimes you need it a little bigger, and sometimes you got to fill in the gaps, stuff like that. So there's one done. Now, I forgot my squeegee doohickey. You take one of those and rub over it. Let me run and get that right quick. Okay, got my squeegee doohickey. I forget what all they call this thing, but it's very good for making sure you've got good contact. You want really good contact once you put the tape down. It's hard to see now that the light's on it, and I can't get in the, I'm just not good at this, getting it close to the camera thing, so you can see where the tape is. Okay, so I'm going to do one more, because I should have done one of the inside mats, because I wanted to show you how to put it down with using the glue. And I'm not going to put the outside one on until I make my decisions on the spine cotton and the ribbon and all that stuff. Calm along. Okay. Yeah, this isn't like a rocket science thing. It's just put the tape on there best you can, straight as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just best you can. The bigger tape is more difficult a little bit because it's bigger. These little ones are easier to manipulate. If you go a little bit crooked, you can always straighten them a bit. That big tape is going however you started it. And yeah, you just have to go with that. Okay, now we've got this, and I can show you how to put a mat down. With glue. Okay, our glue is here. Oh, I forgot something else. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I keep this up. I'm gonna need a magic wand to summon all my stuff together so I'll have to keep pausing. Okay, we're just gonna pull these off like so. Like so. Oh, come on. Now that happens. You just, you know, work with it. Okay. Alright. Don't pull the last one off. That's your secret to getting this to work right. Okay. You go around the edges with your glue. Am I in shot? Okay. You go around, make sure you get your edges really, really well. So there. And then, once you got that done, you go back over the tape with your glue. Get a good you don't have to cover every speck of it, but get a good saturation. Fairly good coverage. I don't know how much you can see of this, but I hope it's gonna work to where you can see that I'm getting a pretty good coverage. It's not every speck of this is covered, but it's got some good coverage. Okay, so then I'm gonna get my base out, and this one goes where? Oh yeah, this one goes here. This one goes here. So I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm not going to put the glue part down. You see where I've got the, come on, help me out here. See, I've got the glue on there. This part has still got the tape on it. This part here. Okay. So I'm going to put the part with the tape on here and get it lined up just as good as I can. But like I said, if it's not exactly straight, that is what they make lace for, okay? So you get it lined up, and then you press it down, okay? That's our magic secret to getting those mats on just right and not having to worry about the the tape messing with us too bad, okay? So we're going to get the pokey tool that I've forgotten, now I have. We're going to peel this back and get right in under there. Yeah. And of course it did that again. They do say you're a little bit jinxed when you're on camera. So, yeah, I guess so. Alright, this time you don't have to put glue over where the tape is, just around the edge. And I start with where I got my fingernail because that's just where I always start. Start wherever you want to start. It doesn't matter. I just do it that way because that way I know that's my halfway point and I'm getting it covered. So just around your edges. Hope I'm in shot. Okay. Just around your edges, and when you let it go, you press that down, and there you are. And of course, me being me, I'm going to pull out my brayer, and I am going to give those edges a really good rolling over. Okay? Alright. We have begun, okay? We've got our first mat down. I do my inside ones first. So if I were you, that's the advice I would give you. Do your inside mats first and get those stuck down. Cut your sliver off of here. Just barely a sliver. I have at times put a little thumb notch here and then used a craft knife to open the rest of it up when I really wanted to leave the rest of that. But just a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver off of here that opens up that pocket for you. Okay? So, this is our first actual craft along. Maybe the next one I won't forget all the stuff I'm trying to work with. And I'll show you how to put the cotton on the spine, or how I do it, because I'm going to leave it for the outside. So I'm going to put my ribbon around. I'll cut off my length that I'm going to use. Okay, where am I? Okay, it's this ribbon, okay? I'm going to cut the length off that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to put tape here and here. I usually go to right around the 4 1/4 mark on this envelope, but just get somewhere in the middle of whatever envelope size you're using. So put your double stick tape here and on the back, and then get your ribbon folded in half once you've got your length, and then put the inside part of it where the fold is here, and then lay it over your double stick tape. Stick that down. Same on the back. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Yeah. Then you put your mats on. Then you're ready for our next craft alongs, where we're putting the spine cotton on there. Because I'm going to leave mine out to leave these frayed edges. I'm going to try this again. Because I want to leave my frayed edges on the outside. This time. So, there we are. Thanks for watching. I hope I haven't been too confusing. If you have any questions, just ask them below, and I will do my best to answer them. If you need any more explanation on something, if you want to see me put the ribbon on, I mean, it's pretty simple, but if you want to see me do something else, let me know. And I'll be back with another video real soon. Thanks for watching. TTFN. Do, do.